Today we play golf.
Let me show you how we do it in the pros.
Welcome to Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
I never miss with the 7-iron.
A conversation with some of the most interesting innovators and entrepreneurs behind the biggest names in golf.
My friends were the golf clubs. I lived on the golf course. I lived on the driving range.
From pro talk.
You should learn something from each and every single round you play in.
To fun from on and off the green.
Why would you play golf if you don't play it for money?
Just let me put the ball in the hole.
This is Behind the Golf Brand Podcast with Paul Liberatore. Behind the Golf Brand Podcast is sponsored by On Point, the revolutionary three-dimensional domed golf ball marker. On Point provides alignment recognition as small as a degree of inaccuracy from the planned course of the putt face angle. Endorsed by Jim Furyk, U.S. Open champion and 17-time PGA Tour winner. On Point alignment technology has been proven to increase putting performance and help lower your score. Visit onpointgolf.us and be sure to use code GA10 for a 10% discount. On Point, make more putts.
What's up, guys? Paul from Golfers Authority. Welcome to Behind the Golf Brand Podcast. This week I have a legend. I think he's a legend because he was the original who did shirts in golf. And then it kind of like took off. But it was a long, hard road. Like he's been doing it for a while. And I have a lot of respect for him because it's hard. And what he did is really cool because it's kind of like resonated with players. And I don't know, this is awesome. So this week, I have my friend Jon Mason from SwingJuice, Apparel, and everything. I know you guys know who they are because they're like everywhere. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I mean, listen, I can't get a better intro than that. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
I should be like an MC. Like,
I was going to say, I might have to hire you as my hype man.
I will. I'm your hype.
That's pretty
Oh my
solid.
God, could I be Flavor Flav?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want to be Flavor Flav, like the ultimate hype.
Get your big SwingJuice clock. Get your big SwingJuice
I should.
clock.
I should go get the clock at the Masters, right? That big ass.
Yes, just put it. Yeah, we'll take out Rolex and we'll put in SwingJuice and we'll
do it. That would be sick. You know what?
We'll go road tripping.
Because I'd be like made fun of. I don't care. I know. Flavor Flav had his own show.
Listen, absolutely, work for him.
And he did in New York like 10 times.
I mean, does it get any better than that?
I watched that show. Like that was such a long time ago. Am I aging myself? That was like.
No, listen. If I started talking about some of my favorite old TV shows, But
I started watching.
You're into good stuff, good content.
The other day, I started remember a TV show when we were kids called Head of the Class. I don't remember that. It was kids in New York.
Of course, I remember that.
I saw it on Hulu. I'm like, I remember that show. And so then I like watched them. Like, oh man, that show's horrible. But like, I was like, I wonder what happened to all these people. So I started like Googling each of the actors, and I was like, holy crap! Like some of these people actually had a career. Some did. Most of them did. But like my son like watches this show on Nickelodeon called something Harvey Danger, and like that big fat dude on Head of the Class in the background. That's his show. Like he produced it, he directed it. I was like, oh, that's cool.
My kids are into that.
Really, Harvey Danger?
Bad. Yep.
Anyway, sorry, this is what happens. So, where are you at right now?
So I'm in the office. We're based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. So small state up in here in the Northeast, but got a lot going on.
It's beautiful. I like your background. It looks badass.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's my little oasis. At least I get some sunlight in here. My old office before was my basement, and then we moved to a smaller office.
See, this is exactly why I want to talk to you.
So it's like I'm glad to have windows for once in the swing.
I'm in my garage. This is my garage.
That's not a bad spot.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's where I started it. And now that I started my new brand, like I just have boxes over here. Like I'm like, oh, my wife's like, what's all these boxes? I'm like,
I've been there. Trust me.
Really?
Trust me. No, yeah.
I
mean, my wife, I still have boxes in my basement, and
really?
She's like, when are you getting these things out of here? You have your office, like get them out of here. And again, I used to be, I was drowning in boxes.
See, it's like this is this guy, man. I cannot wait to find out how he did this. All right, so let's start. We're gonna take a little time machine. Are you a professional golfer?
No, not even close.
Did you play in high school, like anything like that?
No, my kind of sports path was growing up, played baseball, basketball, ended up playing baseball, both of them in high school, ended up playing baseball in college.
Where?
So again, I've been as a Providence College, which no longer has a baseball program.
So what? You still play baseball?
Big East baseball. Yeah, Big East baseball, which was great. Yeah, great competition.
What year did you graduate college?
Long time ago.
2000.
Let's call it late 90s.
That's when I graduated college, man. No, dude, I graduated 2000. What year did you graduate?
96.
Oh, but you're really old shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. It means you're 4 years older than me. You don't even look like you're 4 years older than me, man.
Hey, man.
You're all buff and stuff. And I
try to keep it together.
Dude, shit. So you played baseball, and then what'd you get your degree in, or what'd you end up doing? What happened?
Marketing. So I've always been sort of like an idea. So my kind of like my two passions growing up, through college were sports and then, marketing. So, when this started to kind of come about in my head about 2003, 2004, it was sort of a natural fit of where I wanted to go. But at the time, the way the brand started actually was a sports energy beverage. So,
that's right.
So, at the time I was really starting to play a lot of golf with my friends. Like once I was done with baseball, I just started to get into golf. Like I said, early 2000s, 2003, 2004, I had a group of buddies that we just play golf all the time. And, one of them one day said, hey, we have an early tea time. So no big deal. We'll just drink our SwingJuice and be ready to go.
Like, that's a good name.
Like the spark went off in my head. And I'm like, SwingJuice, that'd be a great name for like some sort of a golf related energy beverage. And at the time, this is when Red Bull was like
all were coming out,
taking over. Right. Exactly.
There was
vitamin
nothing.
water.
There was like just Red Bull back then.
Right. It was Red Bull and vitamin water pretty much. So literally that day, I started the trademark process of the name SwingJuice. And, for a full year, I just went through the process. All right, well, how do you create an energy drink? How do you create an energy water? So I literally hand wrote the first formula for SwingJuice. I just researched all the ingredients. I knew what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a healthier type beverage. So I went through that whole process for a year, got some samples made, and finally said, all right, let me see if I can get some traction. So my initial thought was, okay, I want to get this into the golf space. This is a natural fit. I love golf. I'm into, kind of into that health and wellness space. So initially my thought was, all right, let's get into, let's try to get into Whole Foods. And then let's just try to get into, golf courses. So literally just kind of, sometimes you hear this story. I just got a bunch of samples in the back of my trunk and I just drove all around.
And your mixtape.
Yeah. Right.
That's like the mixtape story.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Or like, isn't that what MC Hammer did? He was just like, oh yeah.
Everybody did it.
Did we all do it? I got my samples in my car.
You have to. I mean,
I'm like handing them out at a little league game. I'm like, oh, you play golf? Oh, you should check this out. Look at this. This is my new towel.
Yeah. And this is also like the pre-social media era. There was no social media. There was no Facebook. There wasn't the only way you could get it out was just grassroots.
Did you have a MySpace?
Get on the street. Yeah, Oh, I had a MySpace.
That was about it.
I had a SwingJuice MySpace. Yeah, that was pretty much it. So the first, probably 4 or 5 years, it was basically just kind of getting out there. So, one of my big goals was to get into Whole Foods, which I did, which was great. Because again, our product was like an all natural sports energy drink. It was like low sugar, no preservatives. It was really, it was kind of like, again, it was a cross between a Red Bull and a vitamin water. So from 2004 to 2009, that's what I did. I just was on the road. I was pushing this drink. And at the high point of distribution, we had about 300 accounts. We had Whole Foods in the Northeast, and then we had a number of grocery chains, smaller grocery chains, convenience stores, and golf courses that carried the product. But the beverage space is very difficult. I mean, you truly are going up against giants with Coke and Pepsi, and obviously Red Bull at the time, and vitamin water before they were purchased by Coca-Cola. It's almost virtually impossible to get shelf space unless you have, again, a major distribution partner behind you. So again, like 2010, 11, 12, I started to kind of see the writing on the wall that the beverage piece was not going to work, but I love the brand. I still love the SwingJuice brand. And I just thought it had a place kind of in this world. So I started to think back, all right, well, how can I make this something? So we had a website. We would sell product on the website, but that didn't work because, I'd sell cases of product for $25 and it would cost me like $34 to ship it. People across the country are ordering product and it's like, well, this isn't viable. So again, 2011, 11, 12, 13, I said, all right, well, SwingJuice as a beverage is not going to work, but I want to continue this. How can I do that? So I kind of got in my own headspace and thought, all right, well, why don't I pivot this to an apparel brand? You know, we still had people that were buying T-shirts on the website. Not many, a couple a month, but people were constantly into the golf aspect of the brand. So 2013, 14, I got with a friend of mine who's a web developer, and I said, all right, well, I want to turn SwingJuice into an apparel brand. So we worked for about 6 months and trying to fine tune the website. And then, in February 2014, just turned the lights on to SwingJuice Apparel and had about 10 designs on there. And immediately people were buying the T-shirts. It just resonated. And again, it was something that because, the name resonated to a golfer, and at the same time, again, now to the Instagram era, I was really starting to push the brand on Instagram, again, speaking to a golf audience to see if that would resonate. And it worked. And now we ship all over the world, and we have thousands of customers, tens of thousands of customers, and things are going in a direction that I envisioned a long time ago, but it's great to see it actually come to fruition.
How many designs do you have in T-shirts?
So currently on site, we have, I've probably had over 500 designs in total over the evolution, but currently now we have over 200 on our website.
That's cool. I mean, you have a lot of copycats. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people saw what you were doing and then they tried to do the same thing, right? I'm not saying like direct copycat, but like, oh, funny T-shirt for golf. Like, like I've seen them all over the place. I've seen people like you pretty close to your designs. Like I was at a Muni the other day and I saw a design. I was like, that looks familiar, but I couldn't remember where I saw it, and I look on your website right now, you're talking. I was like, oh, that's the shirt I just saw, I mean, how did you come
There's
up
been
with
a lot of that over the years.
How did you come up with the ideas like of these designs? Are they all in your head, or do you have like a team, or like,
99% of them are in my head. That's just how my.
But you're not an artist, right? So you're like, I have this idea. Let's do a taco playing golf, right? And you're like, okay, find somebody who can draw that, and then you start. Yeah, I'm not an artist.
So like all the concepts, like I said, majority of the concepts, 95 to 99% of them, I come up with. This again, my brain. I'm constantly thinking about this stuff. So we have a designer, and over the years, I've had designers that I've worked with closely. So essentially, I'll just come up with the idea, message our designer. We go back and forth until we get to the right, iteration of what the thought process is, and away we go.
Dude, I love your easy shirt. That's like my favorite shirt. Like the one. Yeah. That's so funny.
And it's been interesting because again over the years it's one of those things. So the reason I wanted to go with golf T-shirts initially, and not like polos and other golf apparel, is that I felt, again, as a consumer, I was looking around the marketplace. I'm like, there really isn't any cool like golf T-shirts other than this stuff you would see on smaller websites that's like Father's Day related, or some kind of goofy looking things. Yeah. And again, the other thing for me was, I want two things. I want one, a great design, something that's fun, that's relatable, that speaks to like my lifestyle, like something that I can wear off the course to show my passion for golf off the course. And then two, it had to be good quality. I'm personally, I don't like, shirts that are just like you wear them once and then you toss them out. The stuff that you get like a bar promotion that, they throw you a free T-shirt. So I wanted like good quality. So, before I even launched the apparel side, it was like, okay, what type of T-shirts, do I personally like? Because I've always been a T-shirt guy. Like I'm into fashion. I'm into T-shirts. So I did a good 3 to 6 month, just kind of research period of T-shirts. What T-shirt blends do I like? What do I not like? And then finally came up with a blend that I really like really comfortable, soft, no shrink.
Yeah, your shirts are super soft.
Yeah,
super soft.
So it was again a quality thing, and then once the two meshed together, that's when went live with it.
So then your original designs, you had like 8 you launched, and then that's like pretty much when like Instagram was starting to come out and more social, right? So you were starting, which probably catapulted you even faster, because now finally there's a way of sharing that content.
Absolutely.
In a space that it wasn't saturated. You know what I mean? Like now it's like, I know about 5 different t-shirt companies right now. You know what I mean? And I'm not, and just because, and they all, I mean, everyone's creative in their own way, but you know, you were the first, right? I mean, essentially.
That's that. You know, honestly, that's how I look at it. You know, again, when I started, there was not. Again, there were other brands that were doing t-shirts, like larger, you know, golf brands, but there was not somebody that was doing fun, cool, relatable lifestyle branding.
You did a lifestyle, like I was at the golf course Sunday, and like I was looking around, you know, and like most of the time people don't wear t-shirts at the golf course. Like I thought, like I do, because I'm just like, I'm just in the bucket of balls. I'm not going to dress up. But a majority of people don't. I just noticed. I was like, what the hell? Everyone's still wearing a polo shirt. I'm like, this is a freaking municipal golf course, dude. Like, but it's like, you're never going to change that. But there are people out there that like wear a t-shirt, or they want to wear it when they go out with their friends, or when they're hanging out at home at a barbecue, or they just want a nice comfy t-shirt to go to the movies, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's different.
Absolutely.
Like, and they still love the sport, but then I don't know. It's like, I'm starting to learn these things. I start seeing, I don't know. If I started my own brand, it's like, oh, I see why. Oh, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just,
yeah. You know, to me, like the initial thought process was, okay, I want to be able to wear something that I'm passionate about, right? So like I came up with the term, you know, wear your passion on your sleeve. You know, so the idea was, okay, well, I don't want to wear polo all the time, but I love wearing t-shirts all the time.
Yeah, me
you know,
too.
and then I want to show people that I'm into, you know, I'm into golf, I'm into, you know, this sort of lifestyle. And that was really the initial thought process in getting the tee. So I, you know, again, I've said this, you know, I talk about this all the time. It's like, I truly was the first one to do fun, you know, cool golf lifestyle t-shirts, you know, way back in 2014.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like your designs are on par, no pun intended. I can't believe you said that, but like they're on par to what's happening in society right now. Like you have, like if you're into golf and you get what's happening, like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. I see what you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's almost like you can't throw it in somebody's face, right? The joke.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And that's literally what, you know, what I try to do is come up with, you know, stuff that's relatable, stuff that's, that's current. That's something that, you know, again, that's funny. And to me, and this is obviously, you know, like with a lot of things, is you want to get an emotion off, you know, from somebody. You want somebody to be drawn to something because it brings a certain emotion out. Like the Golf and Tacos design, it was one of the first ones I designed. And the reason I came up with that was I really like golf and I really like tacos. So I'm like, all right, well, why not wear that on a t-shirt? And the same thing with golf and hip hop. Like I really love hip hop. Like I'm a hip hop historian, and then I really love golf. But I'm like, you know, on paper they probably don't look like they go together, but that's one of our all-time best-selling shirts because other people see them. They're like, you know what? I like golf and I like hip hop as well. Why not wear that on a t-shirt? So again, it's trying to get this fun emotion out of people, and you know, it seems like so far it's working.
So, what are your 2 biggest sellers? Golf and tacos and golf and hip hop?
Those are all, like in the top, you know, 5.
I bet your golf vintage Georgia one is probably one of them. That's
a good one.
I bet the green one that has a TV on it, right? Like whatever it is, golf and chill or watch TV, whatever it is.
Yep,
I bet
exactly. That's up there too. Honestly, like right now, our top selling design is our new logo that we switched to. We call it the SwingJuice retro design.
You know, we switched our logo right now.
On one of my hat right now. That is our number 1 selling design across every category that we have, which is kind of wild because I was a little nervous to change the logo. And the logo had been the same for 6-7 years, but you know, like talking internally, you know, everyone thought it was a good, you know, kind of cool update, and you know, it's got a little retro look, but it's also relevant.
I almost wonder if retro's coming back. I feel like it is.
It is.
I feel like
100%.
Are you seeing it? Because I just kind of, I don't see big brands doing it, but I see like respect for the older generations. You know, like it's a brand one of my friends Gavin owns a brand called Penfold, and like golf make balls and tees and all that stuff. But like they just released a bag And the bag is like an old retro style, like, 70s bag. And I'm like, that is the coolest bag I've ever seen. Like, that my grandfather carried. And I'm like, that's just cool. It's not like in your face. There's so much in your face stuff right now that it's like, meh, whatever. But, that's the thing too.
Retro is definitely coming back.
I feel like
no doubt about it. Yeah, it is. You could see it. And again, it's like, I feel like fashion is like that anyway. It's like cyclical, like things that were old or come back as new. So for us, it was, I love this new logo because to me it is, and we call it the retro logo, but again, it's got a little retro feel and it's also like minimalist. And it again, to me, the biggest cue is that our customers and our fans are loving it. So it obviously is resonating.
So when you do your marketing, obviously you're all over social, I know that. But like, do you have an email list and like doing ads and all that still?
Yeah.
Are you still doing all that? Yeah.
Yep, still doing all that.
You
kind of have to do a full, 360 degree kind of marketing plan. You got to try to get the word out there as many places. Because again, you know how it is. People, especially now, people consume their media in various places. They're not just sitting in front of it. Right. They're not just sitting in front of the TV. And if they are, they're either skimming through the commercials or they have a service where they don't show commercials. If they're on their phone, they're just scrolling through. Same thing with like email and text. So you got to have to try to hit people where you may think they could see you. And right now it's like, how it is. It's like, instant gratification. It's, 2-second attention spans, and it's mostly mobile. Which is
all mobile, dude.
This wasn't the case.
I watched a video the other day on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I'm like hooked on YouTube now. Like I want to learn everything about it. And they're saying that like most people watch YouTube on mobile and like you have to like optimize your cover image for mobile. Like nobody cares. Like
100%.
Like this, like if you can't read what's on the screen, like I don't know. I just found that fascinating. I'm like, really? I saw that on my website. I would say like 60% of my traffic is not mobile, So it's like, okay, well now we got to have a super mobile site. Like, and then I redesigned it half ago for that because honestly, it's going to be 100% mobile at some point. I mean, again, the biggest cue is look to like the younger demographic, the kids who have cell phones that are from like 10 to 14 or 16, everything is mobile. Nothing is, analog, like sitting in front of the TV. They watch their TV on YouTube. They watch their TV in whatever streaming service. They're not watching network television. I was going to tell you something about that. Oh, so we were talking about that video earlier that did really well of mine. And I was looking at the demographics and everything. And I found what was so fascinating is that like probably 50% of the traffic of a lot of like total amount, like the age group was actually 24 to 34. And I was like, interesting, because like, I don't know, as a brand, as any kind of brand, you're always trying to figure out who's your audience, right? And then I was like, okay, that's cool. Because it's always fluctuating, right? So if you look at my website, I'm like, oh, it's mostly, a little older demographic. But then I'm like on YouTube, that's like, I almost feel like that's a sweet spot, right? 25, like.
It is the sweet spot. I was just going to say that, like the 25 to 35 or,
less than that, they don't care. Like seriously, less 24-year-old less, they care less about golf. Right. Unless you're like wanting to be a professional golfer. But then it's like, the majority of people are 25 to, let's say 53. That's like but I mean, after that, kind of you'd see diminishing returns. I don't know. I found that fascinating because,
no, it is.
It's always interesting to see where golf is right now, right? Where the interest in golf is. And that's good, right? Because 25, 34, that's like the next generation coming older. And it's like, it's the guys that like are now married. They have kids, they want to get out of the house, and they want to buy some cool stuff, right? Or learn more about it.
Yeah.
So you guys,
it's where golf is going, which is great.
So, like most of us out there, you're probably double dutying for a while, right? As you grew your brand. When did you get to focus full time on SwingJuice? Like what year?
So pretty much probably about a year or 2 years into the pivot into T-shirts. So we, this SwingJuice pivot, or I pivoted from beverage to T-shirts in 2014. So it's probably 2016, 17 when I was just like, all right, I gotta.
What were you doing before?
I was in a bunch of I was in beverage distribution. So I was in beverage distribution at the same time I was trying to push the beverage product. So, You know,
it helps.
again,
So you're able to
it
like,
helps.
you're already there. So like, hey, let's try this.
Right. But at the same time, it's like all my mind and energy was focused on building this. So again, it did get to the point where I'm like, you know what, if I'm going to take a run at this, I gotta go full bore.
And it's like hard to sleep, right? Because your mind's always like thinking about it.
It's still hard to sleep. My mind always, I'm like a chronic.
That's like me, dude. I can't sleep right now. I try to sleep.
Yeah.
I wake up a million times every night. My wife's like, you're probably stressed out. I'm like, no, I'm not stressed out. I just have a million things in my mind right now.
You don't think you're stressed out, but then your brain is going. You know?
My brain's going a mile a minute, right? Like, I think I've always been like that, so it's okay.
I'm the same way.
You know, like if you weren't that way,
like that now because go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
No, it's funny. No.
I'm just teasing.
We're just having a good chat. But you know, again, it's one of those things where like even now, like we're growing at a good clip and we have a lot of great opportunities. But my mind is constantly racing. I'm like, all right, what's next?
Next. Execute.
What's next? Right. So right, exactly. Like trying to constantly, try to continue to innovate. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we started, again, the evolution of the brand started as a beverage, pivoted to just solely graphic t-shirts. But now we have polos and we have hats and we have hoodies and, we have this new deal with the Major League Baseball Players Association, which is super exciting.
Let's talk about that.
Also opening up. Yeah. It's also opening up like additional doors, which is,
so how does that work?
Which is exciting.
When you work with the MLBPA, like, are you then able to do licensing of certain players or all players?
Correct. Yeah, all players that are on a current 40-man roster. That's who we can do. Yeah, so
that's that's nuts.
Hundreds of players. Yeah, it's
hundreds. It's trying like thousands, bro.
But yeah, no, I'm trying to think. There's probably 1,500 players in the league, something like that.
So pretty much, you by going with the MLBPA, then you're able to then do. It's like you license with them, and then the player is already a member of the player association, so you're able to like and instead of going to like the Cubs, right, and trying to do a Cubs shirt with, I'm gonna date myself, like Andre Dawson, right, or Ryan Samuel, like
the Hawk.
Yeah, I know that's when I grew up. I used to watch baseball all the time back then. I don't know. People think I'm like I don't even know these new players now. I just like, oh yeah, I know that guy Bellinger. I've heard of him, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But then, dude, you hit that. That's so freaking.
Yeah, so it's exciting, and again, not that we're going to undertake, at least right now, like every single player, but it's fun because again, I used to be obsessed with baseball, and now that I'm sort of back into it, I'm actually really back into it. It's exciting to see the way how the game has evolved, but also to, you're really diving into each team and city's fandom, right? So, what we're trying to do, at least in this initial part of the launch, is to, again, pick players that resonate to the fans on a more general basis. And then because baseball is such a long season, it's every day for 6-7 months.
Dude,
they're going to be players. Yeah, it's fun. It's super fun. Like, right now, like I have this Fernando Tatis Jr. shirt on. Like he's the face of the game, right? So it's like, he's somebody that resonates.
You just think about it though, like how cool this is. With the NBA, right? Like if you want to do a Jordan shirt, you go to Jordan, obviously, or Nike, right? But like this is almost like 30 years ago or whatever. Like being able to like go to the NBA and be like, oh, we're a member of the Player Association. I could do a Jordan shirt, right, or something like that. Like it's so cool because like I don't know, you cut out all the BS, right? All these layers to get to a cool product, right? It's not like, oh, I got to do a licensing deal with the team and I got to do a licensing deal with Major League Baseball. I got to do the, it's almost like the source, right? The real source of it. Yeah. That's freaking cool. I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, I don't know how that works. I was an ass.
Yeah, no. And again, it like I was saying to you before, it's, we started the process of trying to put a deal together with the MLBPA last July, and we just launched, opening day of this year. And again, last year was a weird year, pandemic year. Season was all over the place. So
that was a horrible season last year.
Yeah. So, again, for me, it's like a great evolution of what the SwingJuice brand can be.
Like, think about it. And SwingJuice could be for baseball too, right? They could
100%.
So it's a good segue, right? Or a way to go something else. That's going to be huge. That's kind of.
Yeah, it's exciting. Exciting. Again, it's been a crazy.
You should probably do a
roller
separate
coaster
site
over
for
this-
that though, or like a separate section of the site. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what. Yeah.
and then do like
kind of separated.
pick your city, right? Like, oh, okay. Like I'd have a golf, and I'd do by sport, and then be like, oh, pick your city. Oh, you're from California, like the Dodgers, and then like here's all the Dodger stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. That's exactly what we just did. We just kind of segmented the site to show golf and baseball. So, you go on golf and you see like our new polo line, and you see all the, your favorite t-shirts, golf t-shirts. And then you go on the baseball side and you see the MLB PA stuff. And then you see, we also just launched SwingJuice Baseball. So we have some cool baseball graphics that
you do all kinds of cool stuff, dude. You could do like
every baseball
gloves. You could do bats. You could do pennants.
No, it's all up here. It's all up here.
Sorry, am I like giving away all your ideas? I'm like thinking of all the cool stuff you could do.
No, I believe you. I
banners,
got a laundry list of things that we can
baseballs.
100%.
You could do like cool giveaways too. Like, oh, you want a autograph of so and so Tatis? Then dude, that's so freaking cool. This guy's smart. I told you. I love talking to like the originals because they're off the hook smart. Like because you gotta hustle. That's it. You gotta be a hustler. Like you look at all the brands that have been around for more than 3 years. Like, they're all hustlers, right? Because most people just die off because they're like, oh, I'm not making any money, or it sucks, or whatever. But like you had to constantly evolve from like selling beverages. An idea for a beverage. You did a smart thing too because you trademarked the name like right away. Like most people are stupid; they don't trademark the name, and then they're like 6 months down the road, somebody steals it, and they're like, oh, and they have to go to freaking court and argue that I had it.
Yeah,
first.
I mean, the two things I did right away: trademarked the name and bought the domain name. Right off, and I didn't even know where it was going to go. I just thought, all right, I love this idea, so let me just try to get as much.
So I had an idea like last week. Only like one person on my team knows about it. I'm not going to say on the air what it is. I'll tell you like last side. So I had this idea, and like I've been for months and months I've been developing this idea, and then like I couldn't think of a name. And then finally, like I thought of the name, and I like, oh my god, it'd be a really good name. And then I like same day, just like you, I went out, I bought the domain, and then I bought the logo, and I had the logo made it like fast, right? And then
right away,
one of my partners, the law firm, I'm just like, hey, I got to do a trademark. He's like, all right, let's just do it. We'll walk through today. I'm like, I don't want to. It's like,
it's funny because even like to this day, like I'm just so super passionate about what this can be and the idea. So that's really what drives me.
You're going next level, dude. I'm telling you right now. I'm not just saying like pull your chain, like for reals, because the whole baseball thing, you're thinking so far outside the box. Like, people go, I'm going to make golf shirts. Right. And then it's like, you've already moved to a whole nother sport kind of by chance, right?
Yeah.
And like, it can go anywhere, right? And now you've learned from this you've learned how this works. Now you're like, I should go to the NBA. Oh, I could talk to the NFL. I could talk to whatever, Major League Soccer, whatever, and like, no one thinks that far outside the box. They're just like, I just need to sell some stuff. I need to make my money back. Yeah. That's the thing too.
Yeah.
I know a question I'm going to ask you. So like when you started this, was it like print on demand, or were you buying this stuff at like a printer and like putting it all in your basement?
It was all print on demand right from the beginning, which, again, at the time it worked because, again, we weren't doing like really high volume.
Major volume.
So, right. So it was easy to do that. But as the volume over the years started to increase, then it was like, okay, well.
And the margins are not that great on printing.
Right. So then it started to become, okay, well, let's contract with one printer, then two printers and three printers. You know what I mean? So then as the volume builds, obviously it helps with the margins, but at the same time, it becomes more efficient because you can control, what you print at a effective price point for you.
Yeah, because your price points are not like absorbent, right? It's like $20 per shirt. Like that's like less than
we're not
shirts.
Like high fashion, I mean? Right? We're not selling $2,000 Yeezys or anything like that.
You'd like to though. Oh, could you do with rappers? That'd be sick, dude. If you could do like a deal with like. Oh, that'd be cool as hell. Like old school rap. I was on Clubhouse the other day. Sorry, I'm gonna date myself. I was on Clubhouse the other day, and I was in a room with Fabulous somebody. I don't know. He was like from the Sugar Hill Gang, some guy. Ready? Yeah. I was like, oh, I love that song. And then like I was in a room with him, and then the next day I was in a room with MC Hammer and like talking about something else. I was like, this is blowing my mind. right? Because I'm
Right.
like, these are all the guys that I used to listen to when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So you on Clubhouse?
The wonderful. I am on Clubhouse. I just haven't. I haven't like.
It's hard to like.
I haven't jumped into it. You know.
I haven't gone head first. I need
What do
to.
you think of it so far?
It's cool, but like most of the time, I feel like it's a bunch of people talking about the same shit. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's golf after dark. Oh, it's golf for lunch. Oh, it's golf. I think there's a way. I mean, there is. There's all talking heads, right? Which is cool. Whatever. But like, I think if it was more structured and you like, I think it'd be really cool. Like if you had like, for example, let's pretend you and I were at a Clubhouse together and then we're doing the show, but then other people come in and ask a question to you. That would be cool. Like it's interactive. I think that's the level I think it could be taken to where it's.
Do you think most of it's like just one-sided, like a user is talking or whoever the host is talking, but there's not a lot of interaction? Because I thought that's what kind of it was supposed to be, where, you know, let's say whoever celebrity has a keynote, let's call it, but you know, I could chime in and ask a question.
I haven't seen that. That's a thing. Because you get these rooms with like 10,000 people and they're all listening to Mark Zuckerberg. It's not like how's everybody gonna get a chance to ask a question?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And so like the ones, and then it's like some people, like you look at them, it's cool. Here's the cool part of it. Let me tell you guys what I think is really cool. I've made a lot of connections through Clubhouse that I would have never made with people on Instagram that I already not really knew, but I was like, oh, I know that. So once you see what's the person, they're talking, like even people that do the same thing I do, right? I'm not gonna name brands, but like I was like, oh, hey, you know, we were talking in the same room. There's like 5 or 6 other people, and I'm like, hey, I own this site. You know, this other site. It was really cool because like now we're talking about things, and you know, it's just. That would have never have happened, right? Because how would you ever get someone's ear? That's the key, right? So
that's true.
Like, I don't know. I think it opened doors, but Clubhouse is cool. It's no TikTok, it's no Instagram.
Yeah.
But I also feel like Instagram's kind of turning into like pay to play program. You know, it's just like.
Yeah, you're starting to see a lot of that. That's the thing. You got to try to evolve to the different platforms as best you can. Again, but you also know at the end of the day, like where your audience is and where you can have the best interaction with them. So it evolves every day. It's crazy.
Figure it out, especially in golf, because a lot of people are on Twitter, right? Like old school golfers. Like I would say the guys that are like 40, you know, or like over 40 or 35 older. They're on Twitter, right? They're not on Instagram. They are, but not really. And then like you have the next demographic, they're all on Instagram. Then the next guy was all on TikTok, you know. Yeah. But I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. So cool. No, that's awesome. So
this is awesome, man. I really appreciate it. I mean, again, it's, you know, the more that we can kind of tell the story, and it's funny because I've almost kind of done this backwards, like in the sense that, you know, started with the brand name and tried to evolve the product without telling the story. But now that we've kind of built up a story, it's time to tell that.
No, you got a good story.
You know, you
got a good story, and you're moving in a cool direction. I think like if you guys have, I know for a fact you guys have seen SwingJuice's stuff. Like it's everywhere, you know, like you don't realize it's SwingJuice, but it's pretty much everywhere. And I respect that because it's not easy in this industry, especially golf with t-shirts. Like that's a whole different direction that nobody was doing.
It's a whole category, and that's kind of one of the things I feel sort of proud of in my you know time doing this is I feel like we created a category that really wasn't there before. You know, you're starting to see larger brands really dive into t-shirts, but again, all these other brands that you know that have popped up over the years, I have to feel we're inspired by what you know I created.
Here's my opinion on the larger brands not doing t-shirts. Give me a break. Right. And then when they're not even that clever, they're kind of stupid. And number 2, it's like, I don't know, it looks fake. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we got to make $1 off that person. So they must like, let's do t-shirts. It's like, there's no passion there. And it's like, how many freaking Bushwood Country Club shirts? Like, I'm not going to name a brand, but it's a very large one. And I was at like Dick's and they had like all this, half their gear was Bushwood Country Club. And I looked at the brand. I'm like, seriously? Like, that's cool. That was cool. Like, 5 years ago when it first started coming out, but now you're doing it. It's like, oh, because you think people are buying it. Like, it's just not cool. I don't know. That's my opinion.
And I agree. I agree with you. Like, again, at the end of the day,
they're posers, dude.
It's what resonates to the customer. You know, they may look at it and say, well, it could have your reaction, right?
They all do. But everyone's done that.
and it's, again, that's why I'm really proud of what we've done, where we're going, and again, hopefully some exciting days ahead.
No, you guys have some big stuff happening. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Hey, Paul, appreciate it, man. Let's definitely get another call.
Yeah, we should off record.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Let's do it. Maybe
fun, and
I'll shoot you some times, and let's just pick a day, because I really would like to plan that video idea that you had. I think that would be super cool if we could pull that off. I think I'd make that happen.
Yeah, for you guys, we're talking about doing a video. John and I like playing golf together, so as you know, it's gonna be sick.
That works.
I just want to play golf with my friends. That's all I want to do, right? And then
that's it, man. There's nothing better than that.
And John's gonna kick my ass because I'm not that good. So watch, John's like a scratch player, and he busts out a big SwingJuice and drinks it, and he crushes it. But cool.
I'm wearing the gear I play.
I know. I'm gonna wear my gear. I'm gonna wear my gear says.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna send you another care package.
Oh,
I'm gonna send you another care package. Get you some polos and some of the baseball stuff.
This guy sent me a care package for the Masters, which was nice of him. So it's really that's classy right there, you guys. So you guys need to check out SwingJuice.
Try to make people happy.
Is it swingjuice.com, right?
Swingjuice.com. Yep. All of our socials.
See, that's the cool part too. He has like a real email, a real website. Not like, it's .io. It's like he's old school because he has a real com. So
yep.
Back in 2004.
That's it, baby.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show.
Hey, man, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. You take care.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
You're going to beat me at golf?
Stay connected on and off the show by visiting golfersauthority.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Golf is always more fun when you win.
Stay out of the beach and see you on the green.